Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As usual, I am Ryan Conway, joined here by my freaking boy, Sam Glavin. And you know we got Seamus G behind the glass pulling the strings. We got all the boys together one more time before we all go back to school. And the Phillies are really ruining that for us right now, aren't they, Sam?
Oh my gosh, they just... Every time I think that they're about to turn a corner, they screw it up.
Yep.
And we have one person and one person only to thank for that, and that is our boy 5-inning Vinny.
5-inning Vinny. He only made it 2 1/3 though.
Yeah, that was absurd.
That's less than half of 5 innings.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about his stat before, where the first time around batters are hitting like 150, second time around they're up to 250, and then the third time around they're up to 500. He didn't even make it that far.
He stinks.
He's terrible.
So bad. We were up 7-0, top of the third, and I was like, "This is great."
I think this
bottom of the third.
This might be the first time that we're not blaming Gabe Kapler for a loss.
Nope. This is entirely the fault of Vinny and the bullpen.
Yeah.
Awful.
Really, really bad.
God awful.
Because the offense was firing on all cylinders.
We scored 11 runs.
11 runs.
And we lost to a team that scored 19 runs.
Yeah.
What can Gabe do about that? Scored 19 runs.
I mean, it really all relates back to the front office. I mean, they didn't get the pitching that we needed. They thought that we were just going to ride in on our offense for the whole season, and pitching's everything, man. Pitching is it's everything, really. I mean, we can't go rely on an offense, because offense is it's different nowadays. You're going to get inconsistencies throughout the whole season. People are going to go into slumps. Granted, the Phillies are going through slumps all at the same time when they go into slumps, but it's really it's been tragic.
Yeah, it's been a real just comedy of errors with the whole Philadelphia Phillies situation.
Yeah,
it's just
terrible.
One thing after another. It's just gotten worse while remaining exactly the same.
Yeah. So rather than talk about the game, Conway, I want to talk to you about something. It's Players Weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
And all these new jerseys come out, and the guys have nicknames on the backs of their jerseys. What are your thoughts on this year's jerseys?
I think they suck.
They were terrible.
I
agree.
They're not good.
Last year's jerseys were a lot more fun than this year's.
They were like the two-tone ones, right? They were fun. This was just like one team was in all black and one team was in all white, but when they were on the field, they had on a black hat. The Marlins, they had a black Marlins hat on. But when they were batting, they had on white batting helmets. And I was like, that's just a weird inconsistency that I'm really hung up on. And they're also just really ugly.
Yeah, I really didn't like them. It was literally all black. There were no other secondary colors or anything. You couldn't even read the logo on the jerseys.
Yeah, Gabe must have loved, because he has no respect for the logo.
Why? Because
he actually had his shirt buttoned up because he knew nobody could see it anyway.
But so for these Players Weekend uniform, who on the Phillies do you think had the best nickname?
Well, you know I love Scotty Jetpacks.
Oh, that's my favorite too.
That was great. I liked Reese as Big Fella, but I don't know who the hell calls him Big Fella.
Well, just within the past month, he hasn't really been the Big Fella.
I mean, when's the last time he hit a home run?
I can't remember.
Like June? Like I have no idea.
It was probably like a week ago, but
I don't know.
It doesn't seem that way.
Could you pull that for us? That'd be huge.
It doesn't seem like that.
Because I'm just curious. Because it feels like he has, I don't know, like 12.
I mean, he was leading the team in home runs for the longest time, but Harper went on that hot streak, and now he's back on top.
I'm amazed by Reese. I really am amazed by Reese, because he gets up there, he never swings to the first pitch ever.
I know.
His goal is to get up there. I don't think he wants to get a hit. He just wants to get a walk.
He wants to eat as many pitches as possible, and I think that's really what's been killing his game. He's going up there, and yeah, he's maybe in the top 5 for walks in the MLB, but he's really been slacking.
I thought he led the majors.
Was he really?
Either led the majors or led the NL.
It was probably the NL.
It was him and McCutchen.
Yeah.
And then Harper a little below them, and I was like, we're just getting on base, because that first month and a half of the season, 2 months.
Oh, that was great.
Oh my goodness, that was fantastic.
I was on the World Series train. the first month of the season.
I made a bet with somebody who was a Minnesota Twins fan because the Twins were hot, and we were like, "Hey, both our teams are pretty hot. If we wind up in the in the World Series, we're gonna have to put a little money on it." And now that's absolutely not gonna happen.
No,
so that's fine.
Not even a question.
That's fine. I don't need anything relying on the Phillies.
So with these last couple of weeks, is Kapler really on the hot seat?
No, he's not. He really isn't. And that's just because he's like the front office's golden boy. They love him. They know that his brain is like putty, and they can mold it.
Yeah, he's
into
a pawn.
Whatever they want. He's an absolute pawn. He's the face of this charade. It's ridiculous. He's the head of a puppet regime within the Phillies clubhouse. It's god awful to see because he's no individual thought. No feel for baseball.
Well, I kind of had a change of heart recently.
No.
I've had a change of heart recently, and it's something because of what my dad said.
What did he say?
He said specifically that Gabe Kapler is strictly listening to what the front office is saying. And it's really, and the whole plan that the front office had was that they knew pitching was not going to be their strong suit this season. But they thought that the offense was going to carry them throughout the season, putting up 5 to 10 runs every game. And that just has not happened.
Yeah.
So how can we fault the manager for that if that was the front office's plan?
You can't really. That's why here's the thing. I don't like Gabe, and it has nothing to do with like, oh, I think he's causing us to lose games more than I just combined with his attitude, the way that he coaches the team, and I understand that is an institutional philosophy that they have, the whole launch angle thing, all these analytics that he is not forced to because he goes along willingly. He's willingly complicit in this sham of a baseball organization, and he puts that out on the field the way that they want him to. And like that's not like it's his fault when things go wrong, but like also just him not having the players isn't his fault. But I still want him gone just because I personally don't like him.
I agree with you in that statement because I really don't like his personality is not meant for Philadelphia.
No.
His personality, his overly positive personality is not meant for Philadelphia sports.
No.
It may be fine over in LA on the West Coast, but this is the East Coast and this is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And we need him to be tougher on his players.
Yeah.
I understand that he's not going to throw anybody under the bus to the media.
You don't have to do that to
and
be a
I
coach.
don't know what's going on in that locker room, but it clearly is not working because he gets absolutely shat on by the media when it comes to his positive outlooks on his players.
Mm-hmm.
And he just doesn't belong in Philadelphia. I think that the front office is kind of getting into his head a little bit. And I think that because he's a young and new manager, he doesn't have the perks or he doesn't have what it takes to say, hey, I really disagree with what you guys are saying right now. If we had an old veteran at manager like Madden or Girardi, they would say, hey, I'm going to manage this team the way I want to manage this team, and you guys can live with it.
Mm-hmm.
And Kapler doesn't have that right now.
That's exactly why they didn't hire Girardi.
Exactly.
His name was floating around that position
a
couple seasons, and it still is. But like that's why it won't happen because Klentak and McPhail don't want someone in there that knows more about baseball than them.
I know
they don't know anything.
They're control freaks. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's how they want to run the team. They're allowed to do that. I think they're misguided.
Mm-hmm.
I think their approach to the game is wrong. I think you've definitely heard me say that on this program and just in daily life because I always bring everything back to the Phillies and Klentak and McPhail.
Yeah.
They just don't have what it takes to do the job. We've seen that. Like, look at what we have on the our results, where we are in the standings. That's part of it is Kapler, but the majority of the blame should rest with the front office just because it's due to how the team's constructed.
Yeah.
You can't do anything if your team's got a gaping hole.
Yeah. Let me just say something real quick, Conway. The Phillies are half a game back from the Mets in the NL East.
We're half a game back of the Mets.
Yeah.
The Mets?
The Mets.
The Mets, really? So we're in fourth?
We are in fourth by a half a game, but still, we are in fourth.
Oh my God! How's the wild card looking? At least, do you know?
And we're 2 games back.
We're 2 games back in the second wild card.
For the second wild card spot.
Oh
yes.
my God!
Yeah,
that's no good.
It's really terrible.
That's terrible, dude.
So Middleton has to make a decision here.
I'm upset. I'm really upset.
Middleton has to make a decision. So we were talking about, is Kapler really on the hot seat? We both disagree. But are McPhail and Klentak on the hot seat?
No, they just got extended.
I know.
They should be on the hot seat.
There's got to be some kind of clause where if they don't fulfill the needs of the team or the city,
then you got to pay them. Then you got to pay them because you agreed to that contract.
Fine. I don't care if we're paying them
not do anything. It's not your money. It's his money.
I understand that, but I think 90% of the fans in Philadelphia would agree with me. And as an owner, you have to take into account fans, team, and then his own decisions.
I mean, theoretically,
It has to.
Theoretically, that's what should happen. But we see time and time again mismanagement and bad ownership hurting franchises. There are things that owners should be doing and they don't do them. And that's, I mean, I don't want to say that John Middleton is a bad owner because he signed Bryce Harper, he's the real deal. I think he's a good, guy to be running the team. But there comes a point where I just have a little bit of doubt in my mind. Is he going to do what's right for this baseball team, or is he just going to keep living in this fairy tale world where it's clearly you can see what's happening and you choose to do nothing about it?
Yeah, well, he made the move for Charlie.
Yeah.
So he's got to have some kind of care in his heart for the Phillies.
He has to. John Middleton, I don't know him, but I've been familiar with him for a while since he's owned the team.
He's a pretty behind the scenes kind of guy.
Yeah, but I've heard about him living in an area near him, I kind of know the goings on. But I really hope he gets the cojones to at least set these guys straight. Maybe not even fire them, just be hey, you guys need to get it together or you're gone, because this is getting ridiculous. I'm getting so upset talking about this Phillies team.
Me too.
I get so upset.
Me too.
I thought we were going to have something good to talk about on the show today. I really did. I thought it was going to be a really enjoyable time to sit down and talk about the Phillies absolutely clobbering the Marlins. And then...
Well, it was that way for 3 innings.
It was ripped away from me.
I was so excited. I was like, man, I'm going through. I'm like, man, these guys look good on offense. And I was so excited. I was thinking of things to talk about on our very own show. And then here's what happened, Conway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching the game with my dad in the living room. Mom asks me if I want to go get ice cream. I say, yeah, sure, why not? I'll just listen to it on the radio.
Yeah.
I go up to my room, put my shoes on, come downstairs, go to the car, turn on the radio, and all I hear is Kevin Franzen say, and unfathomably, the Phillies are tied 7-7 with the Marlins.
That's the span of 3 to 5 minutes.
They were up 7-1 when I left my living room. And when I got in the car to go get ice cream with my mom and my sister, they were tied 7-7. My dad turned it off and started watching the New York Giants Buffalo Bills preseason game.
That's awful.
How bad is that?
That's terrible.
That's what the Phillies are doing to us right now.
Dude, the Phillies are a disappointment.
I cannot believe
disappointment.
I didn't think that it is hard to blow a 7-0 lead.
It's difficult.
It is hard to do.
In 1 inning.
In 1 inning.
Ridiculous.
Really,
absurd.
really, really, really poor baseball.
I mean, I do want to say it wasn't Bryce Harper's fault. He wasn't there.
No, he wasn't.
Congratulations
to Bryce Harper and his wife.
On the new youngin.
They're about to raise a kid in the best city on this planet.
Yeah, and then they'll move out here when he turns 13, because that's how long the contract is.
Yeah, he'll be here for 13 years, man.
Yeah, maybe longer. Who knows if Bryce really gels.
Where do you think he's going to send his kid to school?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Could it be a private school?
Could be a private school.
Where do you know where exactly they live?
I don't know where they live.
Neither do I.
I feel like they wouldn't want us to know where they live.
Probably a great idea on their part.
Yeah.
Conway, you know where Vince Velasquez lives?
No, I don't see him. Where?
In the doghouse.
Oh, the doghouse.
Doghouse is brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. For all of your hardwood flooring needs, check out their website. Get a quote for a nice hardwood floor. Get recommended by the experts for a contractor.
That's fantastic stuff they got going on over there. Wide Plank Floor Supply bringing us the doghouse, Sam.
Yeah, wideplankfloorsupply.com. Go check it out. Vince Velasquez.
Oh, I know.
Is in the doghouse for obvious reasons that we just talked about with the Phillies. He didn't even make it to 5-inning Vinny.
Oh, my goodness.
He blew that game up for them. It was awful. It was just a terrible, terrible, terrible performance. What do you think? What do you think? It was the jerseys?
No.
He just sucks.
Vince Velasquez is just garbage.
He's terrible.
He's not good. He is not even a 5.
He shouldn't be. He should be in the bullpen on another team.
He should be. I don't think he'd make the bullpen on like the Dodgers. I don't think he's good enough to pitch in that
shot.
bullpen.
He'd be in AAA, maybe even AA for the Dodgers.
And he's a starter.
He's a starter for us.
He's someone we expect to win games.
He's the 3 starter for us.
That's just awful. I hate him.
How awful is that?
Vinny Velo.
Oh my goodness, Conway, give us your doghouse.
So yeah, my doghouse. It's little outside Philly. I'm gonna have to go ahead and put the United States men's basketball team in the doghouse.
Very interesting.
Because they lost to Australia.
That's awful.
Yeah, and I have the U.S. men's roster up. Harrison Barnes is on the team, and he's like a starter. Like he's like one of the best players on the team. I think they've got like Jason Tatum, Chris Middleton, Donovan Mitchell. They got Marcus Smart representing our country.
And Kemba.
Okay. Who is Derek White? I don't know who that is.
I have no idea who that is.
Looks
like he's on the Spurs, yeah.
Oh, Jerry Colangelo, our
great
dark
stuff.
overlord. I hate the Colangelos. Yeah. No love for the Colangelos at all.
None at all.
But yeah, they got beat
for
the first time in
you look at this
decades.
team, and they're all good to great players in the NBA.
No, there's no great players on that list.
They are all starters or role players in the NBA, and they couldn't beat Australia.
Well, Australia also has all starters and role players. Yeah, but like still, it's like you're from. Why are we so thin too? Why do all these stars go like no thanks?
I don't know why. I mean, I was just gonna say that there aren't any stars on that team. I would maybe Donovan Mitchell is a star for the Pacers, but there are no other stars on this roster.
No, yeah, there's not.
I mean, I guess none of them want to get injured, but that's a soft move.
I mean, you're representing your country.
Go represent your country
in the world. It's the World Cup. You're playing against the best players all over the world.
I find myself once a week I watch the Olympics highlights from the last time they were in London.
Once a week?
Once a week. I go and watch the NBA or all those stars from the NBA on the USA team wearing the red, white, and blue absolutely smash teams from other countries. Dude. Once a week.
Once a week?
Yes.
Once a week, this guy.
Yeah.
Once a week. All right.
And I don't have that right now anymore.
No.
Because they're still good players, so I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, I'm not really stoked to see like Harrison Barnes, Miles Turner, and Marcus Smart as the big 3 on my national team. No. It's not exactly hope inspiring for this great nation.
But the other thing is Greg Popovich is the coach.
Love Pop.
You gotta love Pop. But what's he doing with these guys?
I don't know.
What's he doing?
But Pop's, it's not that he's checked out, because he's always going to take coaching seriously.
Yeah.
But he's like, you know what? I'm Greg Popovich. Like, fall in line. Like, I need to. You just need to know what I expect. And these players aren't of the quality to live up to those expectations, which is a shame.
Not only Greg Popovich is coaching, Steve Kerr is an assistant.
And Lloyd Pierce, man.
And then they got Jerry Colangelo.
Jerry Colangelo can pounce in.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really know who Lloyd Pierce is.
I don't either. I just wanted to include him.
Right.
Shout out Lloyd.
Shout out Lloyd Pierce.
Shout out Lloyd. He's the man. Yo, Jay Wright's an assistant coach.
No way, really?
Yeah.
No, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Shout out Philly.
Absolutely. And shout out our good friends at Wide Plank Floor Supply as well. Want to thank them for bringing us the doghouse. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. All right, so moving on. We're talking about basketball. I didn't see a single Sixer on here.
Yeah, I mean...
Our two best players are foreign.
Yeah, they are.
I don't consider... I think of Ben Simmons as American because he doesn't say...
Yeah, but I think he identifies as Australian.
Oh, no, I mean, he doesn't sound like this, though. Doesn't sound like that. Does he? The dingo ate my baby.
That's true.
Ben Simmons.
But do you think it's a good thing that there are no Sixers or a bad thing?
I think I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, on this team, I don't want them getting substantial minutes and getting hurt to win silver.
Well, I don't even want them associated with that loss.
No, yeah.
It's not the Sixers' fault.
No, yeah.
Not in the slightest.
No.
There's no one on the team. We disowned the Colangelos.
We have.
It's fine.
Thank God, too, because they stink.
Oh, my God. That was awful.
They stink.
It was really, really, really bad.
Yo, did you see on Twitter what Mike Scott said?
I did, actually. I did.
He didn't tweet it out. I think it was in an interview, right?
No, he tweeted it out.
Oh, he tweeted it?
It was a response to someone.
Oh, yeah.
It was a response to someone about our guy, Jimmy Butler. I forget what he was responding to, but it was he said, if we don't boo Jimmy Butler, then I don't know what you guys are doing as fans, because I'm sure it's all going to be booing him.
He's going to boo Jimmy Butler.
He's going to boo Jimmy Butler.
Do you think Mike Scott had beef with Jimmy Butler while he was on the squad?
100%.
Dude, Mike Scott's a hell of a guy. How are you beefing with Mike Scott?
Mike
Scott loves everybody.
Mike Scott is the epitome of Philadelphia.
He's the man.
He's awesome. I wish that we have had 10 years of Mike Scott on this Philadelphia's roster and in the city of Philadelphia.
I'm so glad we got him back.
Yeah, are you a part of the Mike Scott Hive?
No.
What do you mean?
I'm not a member of the Hive.
Ah, man.
I love Mike Scott.
I do too.
You know. I'm not going to be a member of the Hive.
Why not?
Why? I mean, why do I have to?
You follow him on Twitter?
Yeah, I follow him
You're a
on
member
Twitter.
of the Hive.
Is that all it takes?
I think so.
Oh, well then yeah. I thought I had to be like a certified.
It's not like you got to sign a piece of paper or something.
Not like that, but I got to be
moron.
like, yeah, I'm a member of the Hive. Because I don't know. I'm not like this Mike Scott fanboy.
That was pretty dumb out of you right there.
What?
That was dumb.
What? I mean, yeah, it's nice that the guys, in the Mr. Softy truck and everything. Like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty funny. Giving ice cream out, to the kids and everything. I actually hate Mr. Softy. Because where I worked not this summer, but the Mr. Softy truck would come around the office park playing at 3 p.m. And I hated my job. So I would just hear every day at 3 p.m. And I was like, get me out of here. I want to go home. Because I worked out in Bensalem. It's like 50 minutes drive to and from work.
I don't know how you can hate on the Mr. Softy truck.
I'm not hating on the Mr. Softy truck. I'm just hating on its place in my past.
You're hating on it.
I'm not hating.
You
on
are.
It. No, because I love Mr. Softy.
You just trashed them.
And no, I'm not trashing Mr. Softy. I'm trashing the context to which I was most exposed.
That doesn't make any sense.
All right. I will admit my language now and about Mr. Softy was a little harsh, but Mike Scott's a stand-up guy, no question.
Absolutely.
Giving ice cream out to the kids, big Mr. Softy, great, love Philly, all that stuff. But I'm not like a Mike Scott. Still, I'm not like a Mike Scott. Like, he's not my favorite player on the team. There are people where Mike Scott is their favorite player on the Sixers. I'm not there.
He's one of my favorite players.
Well, he's one of my favorite players, yeah. But I like, like Joel Embiid is like my.
You are all over the map right now, Mister. I don't know.
All over the map right now.
You just said
I'm firmly on the map.
Some people, Mike Scott's their favorite player. He's not one of my favorite players, and I said, hey, Mike Scott.
He's one of my favorite players. I'm saying that he is some people's number one favorite player on the team. Like if they wanted any jersey of any player on the team, they would want Mike Scott. Those are the people that I think would be in the hive. The people that are Mike Scott, like the way people felt about like Nick Foles, not to the same, but like a similar degree, like backup, kind of like, not like a conventional favorite. Okay. Now with Nick Foles, it's different.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just not where I'm at. I'm not like gonna lose my mind over Mike Scott. Like if I meet Mike Scott, I'm gonna lose it because Mike Scott's the man. But like,
you're losing me, man. You're losing me. You're losing me here. I absolutely love Mike Scott. If somebody said to me, hey, you want a Mike Scott jersey? I'd be all for it.
I'd take a Mike Scott jersey.
I love Mike Scott.
But if someone was like, would you rather have a Mike Scott jersey or a Joel Embiid jersey, then I would get a Joel Embiid jersey.
Well, I already have a Joel Embiid jersey.
Well, I don't.
Get on my level.
I don't.
Come on.
No.
Who do you have, Simmons?
Julius Erving.
All right, that's fair.
Bum.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Bum. All right. Yeah, moving on.
Moving right along.
You complete and utter buffoon.
You're the one that's a nut.
Dude,
you're all over the place this episode.
I may be nuts, but you're a idiot.
What does that even mean?
What are you, stupid or both?
What?
You stupid or both?
What is going on this episode?
OTAs.
Atlantis
Takes Anonymous, brought to you by Fingerprints Filthy. Some of the dopest streetwear around. Check it out. As always, these takes are brought to us by the fans, and only the fans. Seamus G definitely doesn't write these down 2 minutes before we start recording the segment.
Nope. Straight out of the DMs.
Straight out of the DMs from you guys. You get entered to win a brand spanking new Wolves of Broad Street X Fingerprints Filthy zip up hoodie. It's sick. I saw a mock-up. I have yet to see them in person. They're being crafted. I'm excited for it.
I can't wait
Sam,
for it.
Let's dive in. What you got for me, buddy?
All right, so our first OTAs, we got the Phillies will surge and make the NLCS.
Stupidity.
I don't know, dude.
Full on stupidity.
I don't know. I think that if they surge and they go on like a 10 to 15 game win streak and they take that through the playoffs, what's going to stop them? What is?
Literally any other playoff team.
I mean, but if they take the baseball is all about momentum, right? Sure. I can kind of see where this guy's going. If they can take some momentum, win the wild card game, take that momentum into the NLDS, win those games, and then go to the NLCS. They don't have to win the NLCS. This guy's just saying they got to make the NLCS.
Still not happening.
All I'm saying is I can kind of see where this kid is going.
No, yeah, that's totally fine. You know more about baseball than I do, so you can totally go.
If they
feel that way,
if they can surge, I'm not saying they're gonna surge, but if they can surge through the end of this season and take the momentum into the playoffs,
then they will.
Then they can.
And they will because they're a surging team and they're hot, absolutely. But that won't happen. Yeah, because the Phillies aren't capable of surging.
You're probably right.
The Phillies aren't capable of stringing together large amounts of wins.
More than four wins.
only 4 game win streaks for this team all season.
You're right.
Are you kidding me? You can't win 5 baseball games in a row out of 162? That's ridiculous. Back on the Phillies again. We already talked about the Phillies.
We did. Give us the next one, Conway.
All right. JJ Arcega-Whiteside will be the best receiver on the team this year.
I could see it.
How?
I could see it, dude.
How?
I could see it. If Aguilar and Jeffrey have down seasons, we already know Zach Ertz is going to be a hot target for Carson Wentz. But what if, dude? I could totally see JJ Arcega-Whiteside being, if number 2, if not the number 1 receiver on this team. Mm-hmm. Just seeing what he did in this past preseason game, Dude, he looked like a veteran out there. He looked awesome.
Yeah.
He looked like what Deshaun Jackson looked like when he first came to the Eagles.
That doesn't sound... That's even more outlandish than what this guy wrote down. Deshaun Jackson, when he first came to the Eagles, was immediately electrifying.
That's what I'm saying about JJ.
JJ Arcega-Whiteside is not immediately electrifying in this league. Absolutely not.
Everybody was watching him the entire game. Like he was the guy.
Because he was the only receiver that got any playing time. Everybody was forced to watch him.
So what? It was the same with Deshaun Jackson.
Even if you exclude Ertz and Goddard, who, if you just look at pass-catching threats, that's two people that are going to be ahead of him off that possible list. He's still behind Alshon. He's still behind Deshaun. Deshaun is a better receiver than JJ now.
Okay, but what if these guys are going to have down years, which could happen?
They're not going to have a down year.
It could happen if one if not two of these receivers are going to go down with injuries.
No.
Yes.
No.
And then one of the other ones could have like an average year. Who are they going to look to? They're going to look to JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Well, yeah, but that's if like their entire receiving core becomes depleted. That's not going to happen. The only time he's going to get big plays is when they're using Deshaun as a decoy on the outside to free him up one-on-one in a slot or something.
But imagine...
JJ is not going to play that much. And I think he's going to be really good, but I just don't see anything that makes me go, oh, wow, like this guy's it right now.
Imagine this. Carson Wentz wasn't even the guy that was throwing to him that game. He had Kessler, who was awful, and then he had our other backup, whose name escapes me for some reason, but we just signed him.
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown. I don't know why I forgot that.
It's because he's a bum and completely forgettable.
He's not a bum. We can get into that a little later.
All right.
Because I liked what I saw out of McCown, too. Anyways, I really think that if it came down to it, in worst case scenario, Arcega-Whiteside could be the number one, if not the number two, receiver on this team. He's got the potential for it, and he's got the skills right now. He's a smart guy. He picked up the playbook right there. He's out of Stanford. He's a smart guy.
Yeah. But, like, I just don't see it personally.
All right. We're disagreeing on a lot of stuff today, Conway.
Yeah,
I like this. It's
getting a little spicy.
All right, I'll read us our next OTA. We have Villanova is a Philly school.
No.
We're going to disagree again, Conway.
Villanova's how is Villanova a Philadelphia school?
All right, if we're looking purely at location, which clearly what you're doing, that's what you're doing right now. Villanova's in Delaware County and not in Philadelphia.
No.
But the Philadelphia aspect, the Philadelphia teams that are in the area, right? People in Philadelphia were rooting for Villanova in the national championship.
Not everyone.
It's 20 minutes away from Philadelphia.
Yeah, but like, it's not a I just don't see it as like, it's not the same.
They're a part of the brotherhood of Philly sports. They have to be.
Villanova? No. There's other teams. There are other schools. Temple men's basketball at times
don't
is
give me
good.
Temple men's basketball.
Why?
I might have given you Temple men's football.
You don't got love for Temple men's basketball?
No, I don't.
That's ridiculous. Why?
Because
they make
they're
the tournament
that's
sometimes.
Not the money. That's not the money sport for Temple. The money sport for Temple is football.
Well,
the money sport for Villanova is basketball.
Yeah.
Right? So the popularity goes to where most of the money is coming from.
Mm.
I will say Temple football, Philly sport. Villanova basketball, Philly sport.
No, again, Villanova is not. It's not. It's outside. It's in the suburbs. It's not a Philadelphia school. It's in the Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
But there are other schools in Philadelphia that I'm like, well, I'm not going to put Temple in Villanova, Drexel in Villanova, Penn in Villanova, because they're just in completely different places.
Conway.
You call Bryn Mawr College a Philly school?
Conway.
What?
What jacket are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing a Villanova jacket.
Oh, okay.
Because I live 5 minutes from Villanova.
Okay. I'm just saying. You're wearing a Villanova jacket right now on a Philadelphia Sports Podcast.
It's just a jacket I like.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying you look like a fool right now.
I don't look like a fool right now.
It's a good thing that people can't actually see you.
I actually look dead sexy.
But it's a good thing that I called you out for it because
because I'm looking good.
You are talking crazy right now.
It's not a Philly school. I don't live in Philadelphia.
You're talking crazy. You're crazy. Let's move on.
All right. Oh, okay. You'll have a field day with this one.
Read the next one.
Vince Velasquez should quit after that showing against the Marlins.
I'm 100% for it.
Me too, honestly.
100% for
it. Just get out of baseball.
After that, you should hang up the cleats, hit the shower, and never come back
to
baseball after that.
Bye.
That was terrible.
Don't even grab the pine. Just get the hell out.
Just go.
Hit the bricks.
That was I would actually
take it on the arches.
I would respect him more for leaving because he would say to himself, you know what? I don't got it anymore. It's not good for my team.
Anymore?
It's not good for my team. It's not good for the game. It's not good for the MLB. I'm just going to walk away. I would have more respect for him for that.
I would. I would just appreciate him getting as far away from this clubhouse as possible because he just clearly shows me that he just doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
He gets like 2 good starts a year. It's ridiculous.
It's really bad.
Like, come on.
He didn't even make it to his nickname, man. He didn't even make it to 5-inning Vinny.
5-inning Vinny is a bum. That's what it should have said on his player's jersey.
Bum.
5-inning Vinny.
Oh.
That'd be funny if it said bum. That should have been the standard issue for the Phillies pitching staff that night. Bum.
Just bum.
Bum. Bum. Bum. Because they're all bums. They're all garbage.
Except for Nola. Come on, man.
Well, yeah, I know. All bums. Trust me. I know.
Nola, man.
I appreciate Aaron Nola.
Okay.
You know that.
All right.
Don't try and...
Hey, man, we got a lot of tension going on here right
now.
Yeah,
man. Right? Yeah, it's getting a little testy right now. Yeah. I might come over there. Have a little conversation with you.
We're having the conversation right next to each other, Conway. I don't know what you're saying. You're continuing on with your theme. You're talking crazy again, man.
You're a bum, dude.
You're talking crazy.
All right, well... All right, everybody, that's going to do it for OTAs, Outlandish Takes Anonymous, brought to us once again by Fingerprints Filthy.
Yep, keep sending us in your DMs. We're loving the feedback.
Get hooked up with that sweet sweatshirt. Come on. I know you want one. I'm going to get one.
I'm absolutely going to get one.
And I don't have to, because I'm talking about it here, so I'm going to get it. It's going to be pretty flippin' sweet. All right, so we'll pick them. Random drawing.
Yeah.
Send it right out to you. All right, moving on. Diving in. Parsing through the tidbits. When it comes to the birds, Sam. Coming to the birds.
Conway, I got one thing to say to you.
What?
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds, James G.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds, baby.
So, hopping right into some birds talk.
Bird talk.
The first thing I got on this list is the performance from Cody Kessler in that last preseason game.
Ooh, he was a doghouse contender for me. If it wasn't preseason, I would have wrecked him.
You're right. He, you know what? But I think we still could wreck him because he was the only guy on the field on that first series that wasn't a first string guy.
Yep.
He had the tools to show what he could do.
It showed.
And he sucked.
He was awful.
He was really bad.
It was unbearable to watch him. I had to turn it off after the first quarter.
For me, that puts his job on the line.
As what, third string quarterback?
Yes.
I guess so. Yes. We got McCown now. We can't cut him.
McCown. Sudfeld's going to come back.
Sudfeld's back like week 6.
And then we drafted Thorson. So we would have him on the practice squad, maybe develop him into a backup quarterback.
I'd rather Cody Kessler than Clayton Thorson.
I wouldn't. Thorson's so young.
Thorson is so trash, though.
No, he's so young. I really think that Dougie
worse
P.
than Kessler.
I think Dougie P. could work him up. I don't want to give him. I don't want to give up on him already. That's my only thing. That's my only thing. I want to get him onto the practice squad.
Give him some time.
Give him some time. Give him some reps. And you never know, man.
You never know.
You never know with it. So,
do
you have any worries other than Cody Kessler from this last preseason game?
Any worries?
Any worries about the team?
No.
Really?
None.
Interesting, because I have a couple.
I have no worries. I hear things and
the secondary was
they
not
slide
very good.
right off my back. Yeah, whatever.
The secondary was not good against Trace McSorley.
He's a good quarterback.
Trace McSorley absolutely ripped up the secondary. That's a guy who's going to be making $5 million a year as a backup quarterback for the rest of his career.
That's sick. That's great.
It's a great job to have.
It's a great job to have.
Really, really.
Never got to play, but when you do, it's usually a very high leverage situation.
It's like
so that kind of sucks, but
it's like Blue Mountain State.
Dude, Blue Mountain State, excellent show.
Really, really good. Go check it out. Go check it out if you haven't
Blue
already.
Mountain State, BMS.
But
Bags.
I can't believe that a career backup quarterback tore up our starting secondary like that.
I don't even care.
That gave me anxiety.
It doesn't even matter. It's preseason.
What do you mean?
It's preseason. It doesn't matter.
But it's preseason. But they're the first stringers.
The 08 Lions went 4-0 in the preseason, and then proceeded to not win a single game.
That's fair. And the Eagles
preseason does not matter.
The Eagles, when they won the Super Bowl, were vice versa. I don't think they won a single preseason game.
Come talk to me week 1. If we're seeing problems, I'll start talking about problems there. I don't want to even care about this team until we get out of the preseason.
All right.
Because the preseason just warps expectations so much. You just got to approach it with a level head and just bide your time. And then once we see real competition, real game day stuff going on, because preseason, like you know when you go to a preseason game, it doesn't have that feel like it's a real game.
Yeah. All right. Oh, you're starting to sound a little more sensible.
That's just where I'm at. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm not crazy. I just know what's going on.
You're starting to sound a little bit more sensible. But
I done been sensible.
So I saw a stat from Deshaun Jackson during this preseason game.
You know I love a good stat.
This is the really, really interesting stat. So they pulled up on NBC Sports. They pulled up a list of the most receiving yards in Eagles history. Number 1 is Harold Carmichael. God.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous that he's not.
The next guy is Pete Retzlaff.
Yeah.
Obviously. Number 3 is Mike Quick.
Beast.
Absolute beast.
Love Mike Quick.
Love Mike Quick. I love Mike Quick on the radio.
Dude.
He's awesome.
Dude, gotta show some love for Quick.
Him and Merrill Reese on the radio, such a great dynamic.
I love Merrill Reese so much.
But guess who's number 4 on most receiving yards in Eagles history?
Would it be one Deshaun Jackson?
You are absolutely correct.
Of course I am, because the dude is an absolute god.
Could you imagine?
How many yards does he have?
He has about 6,117 yards total.
Carmichael's got how much?
Just playing for the Eagles.
Just playing for the Birds.
Carmichael's got 8,978. He would have blown that record out of the water.
Carmichael's got 8,000?
He's got almost 9,000.
Deshaun could conceivably go down as our all-time leading receiver if he somehow racks up 1,000-yard seasons the next 3 years.
Here's the thing.
That's
he
crazy.
would have already blown that out of the water if Chip Kelly didn't cut him.
That was one of the worst days of my life.
It was awful.
The same. It's like when I found out Brian Dawkins signed with the Broncos.
Yeah.
And when Deshaun Jackson got cut. And then also we traded Shady. That upset me, but not as much as Deshaun.
That was also like within 2 weeks of each other too.
That was so dumb. It was like, hey, I took all the guys that I went 11-5 with, and I told them to take a hike. I'm like, you kidding me? You just went 11-5 with the team, and you made the playoffs, and you lost the playoff game by a field goal.
Just because they weren't like ready to conform with the Chip Kelly fast-paced.
He's a freak. He's such a freak. He's a lizard man.
Oh my god. He's getting some hate from the UCLA fans too. I got a buddy who goes to UCLA, and he says he absolutely hates Chip Kelly, and he got booed off the field one of the games.
Good, because Chip Kelly deserves to be booed out of every establishment he exits. It's ridiculous.
I can't believe that Deshaun Jackson's career was hurt so bad by that. I mean, he did fine with the other teams, but he would have been an absolute legend if he was able to stay with the Eagles.
If he was a lifetime Eagle.
How awesome would that have been to have Deshaun Jackson for his whole career?
Watch him grow up a little bit, because he went away and he came back. He's a different dude now. And I'm okay with him growing up and maturing. That's fantastic. Yeah. Dude's 33.
I know.
What? He's like a wily vet now.
He is.
He's still one of the fastest guys in the league.
How crazy is that? That he's one of the older receivers in the league.
He's like a gazelle.
He's still one of the fastest. How awesome is that? It's just great.
Incredible.
I'm so glad to have Deshaun Jackson back.
Oh, of course. How could you not be?
We're talking now. Now I want to talk about our young studs.
Who's the young studs you looking at, brother?
Our guy, man. Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, baby.
Carson Wentz. Do you think that we should be worried that Carson Wentz hasn't played a single snap in live games?
No, because the preseason doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter what. 1 iota.
I'm just a little concerned that he's gonna have a slow start. Just a little bit.
No.
He hasn't seen
we're
live.
Good. No, we're good. We're all good. It's gonna be great. Here's the thing.
I hope you're right.
It's gonna be great.
I hope you're right.
He can go out and have a really bad quarter or even first half against the Redskins, and I'll just be like, "Do your thing, Carson. Like, you take your time." Because we're gonna play. Playing the Redskins. That's basically a preseason game.
Whoa.
Playing the Redskins is basically what?
It's game 1.
It's a preseason.
All of the adrenaline is going to be pumping for both teams. The Redskins could very well come out and put up a fight. I'm not saying that they're going to beat the Eagles because that would be terrible, but it's game 1. You never know what happens.
We're going to win by at least 3 touchdowns.
That is absurd.
No, just what's going to happen.
I hope you're right.
Look at these two teams.
I hope you're right.
It's at home. It's at the Link, too. It's not like it's a road trap game. We're going to kill them. And we should. And we should expect that. I'm not willing to sit here and worry about the Redskins when they're going to have either Case Keenum or Dwayne Haskins starting. I'm not concerned about that when we have... And their top tight end, Jordan Reed's hurt.
But we saw a rookie come and shred our first-string defense. You're just going to say preseason doesn't matter.
Preseason doesn't matter. Right, well, they're not switched on all the way. I
hope you're right.
It's like preseasons, it doesn't have the vibe. You want to go out there and you want to compete. But if you're not fighting for a job, the preseason games are a slog. Like, you really don't want to be there.
You're right about that. Moving on to some more young studs. There's a little bit of a question when it comes to who's going to make the team as a wide receiver. We have some great wide receivers.
We are so deep at that position.
So deep right now. But I got a question for you, Conway.
Lay it on me, brother.
Would you rather have Greg Ward Jr. or Mac Hollins?
Here's the thing, because I know you're high on Greg Ward.
I've been ever since we went to that open practice and he was still an under the radar guy. Nobody knew who the hell he was. I was like, that guy might make the team.
He popped.
He looked great.
Any other team, he should make it. But with this wide receiving core, and I know you're calling for Mac Hollins' job possibly with this whole injury thing.
I am.
And I get where you're coming from with that, because it's frustrating to not have him available. Availability is your number one concern as an NFL player. You need to be available to play football.
One of the things that my dad has always told me, and it'll stick with me for the rest of my life, throughout the rest of my sports career, is that availability is your best ability.
Yes, that's the phrase. It's true.
Every day I think of that when I'm on the practice field and I see a bunch of guys go off, they're injured, they go to the trainer, and I say, "Hey, I'm available now. Like I'm the guy. Like if I don't go down with an injury, that's the best way to help the team for me.
You're in."
So that's my issue with Mac Hollins.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't played. Has he played a regular season game yet?
Ever? Yeah.
Not a memorable one.
Yes, a memorable one.
Which one?
He had like a 64-yard touchdown against the Skins on Monday Night Football. Super Bowl year.
I forgot about that one.
He was a beast before he went down, and then he didn't play at all last year.
All right, so what else?
He had a good season. Yeah, he had a good season there, and we used a draft pick on him.
I know, but I have a really, really hard time with taking a guy who is injured all the time and who can be you can see into the future what kind of injuries he's going to have, rather than give a guy a chance who has shown everything. He's put everything out there on the field, and he's just been awesome.
Yep.
Merrill Reese even said it. Granted, after I said it.
Yeah. He was listening and stole your point.
He stole it right out from under me.
Not cool, Merrill. Anyways, come on, have some integrity.
No, I always got some love for Merrill Reese.
No, of course.
But I'm taking Greg Ward Jr. over Mac Hollins this year.
Here's the thing. I get it. From what I've been hearing, basically they're looking at Mac Hollins as the safer pick between the two of them. Also because he has some knowledge of special teams and some ability on special teams that Greg Ward Jr. lacks. And Yeah, like if that's gonna be the tiebreaker, I'm okay with that. If they're going like we think that Matt can help the team more than we think Greg Ward can, I'll accept that. But I am growing increasingly frustrated with not seeing, when I don't see him out on the field at all. And Greg Ward is there. Greg Ward is playing games, and Greg Ward scored a touchdown. He's a good player. We've seen it, both on TV and in person.
Yeah, Ike Reese was giving a really, really interesting take on the radio about how guys can make a roster, and it's through special teams, because that's how he made the Eagles roster. Yep. He made the Eagles roster through special teams. Coach came out to him and said, "Hey, you're gonna make this team because of what you're doing on special teams."
Mm-hmm.
So if they're gonna take Matt Collins purely for his special teams skills, I guess I'm just gonna have to move on from Greg Ward,
which is sad, but
really sad. But special teams is really important. So, yeah, I guess it's up to Dougie P, man.
It really is. I trust him to make the right decision.
I know he'll make the right decision.
He and Howie are a match made in heaven, in my opinion. I feel like they get along. They understand what the other's trying to do. There's good communication. It just makes sense.
Yep.
It's good stuff they got going on, man. I'm happy with it.
Really, really.
And I'm looking forward to seeing us play actual games.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
It's very exciting.
All right, we love our birds, but now's the time of the episode when we've got to move along to the Philly Five.
I'm excited for this. Is a really great Philly Five.
This is a great Philly Five today. Seamus G cooked up an absolute banger. We've got the top 5 athlete nicknames of all time. You could have people from Philly. You can have people from elsewhere in sports. Sam, what do we got?
All right, this is in no particular order. So here's what I got. To preface this, Conway and I have not shared our lists with each other. This is live footage we got for you right now.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, no particular order, I got The Answer for Allen Iverson.
Of course.
I have The Kid for Ken Griffey Jr.
Nice.
I have Ginger Jesus, Carson Wentz. I got the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. And I got Tiger Woods, because nobody really knows his real name.
I do.
I know you do, because you're a golfer, but I had to look it up. His real name is Eldrick.
Eldrick Tiger Woods.
Eldrick Tiger Woods.
Beast.
So that has to be one of the best nicknames of all time, because that's really the only way he's known by.
He went from Eldrick to Tiger.
Yeah. So
Tiger's way better than Eldrick.
I think so too. Conway, give me yours.
All right, mine was definitely a little Philly heavy.
Okay.
But we're going to open up with some birds. We got Weapon X.
Oh, that's a great one. Dude, Brian Dawkins has like a couple really good nicknames.
He's got a bunch of good ones.
The Wolverine. Oh, Weapon X. B-Doc. Come on, man. That's a great one. I can't believe I didn't put that one on my list.
I, of course, have the Minister of Defense for the late Reggie White.
Yeah.
And then taking it away from the birds, I got Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, also known as The Law Firm.
That's an awesome one.
And then I have Concrete Charlie.
Oh, dude.
Chuck Bednarik.
Dude, fun fact. The late, great Concrete Charlie, he's buried up in my church 10 minutes away from my house.
Wild.
We could take a road trip, pay our homages.
Yeah.
He was great. I always picture that picture of him absolutely clotheslining someone who
killed that guy.
It was awesome. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. All right, give us the rest of your list.
And then last guy on my list. This is a nickname for Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's a nickname given him by fans in China because they don't know how to say his last name because most people don't know how to say Antetokounmpo. It takes a lot of practice. Took me a couple of years to maybe get it halfway down.
Yeah.
But they call him Zimu Ge, which translates to the Alphabet Man or Letter Bro.
That is awesome. That's so great.
Which is just fantastic. Alphabet Man and Letter Bro are what they refer to him as.
That's so good. So Seamus G, actually, our producer, cooked up a list. And I'm gonna read it for him right now. So we got Juice for O.J. Simpson. Then we got The Law Firm, also on Conway's list. Excellent choice. And then we have The Answer, also on my list. The Big Fundamental.
That's brilliant.
That's an awesome one. Tim Duncan. And then we got an interesting one to end it off. We got Scotty Jetpacks.
Scotty Jetpacks, baby.
Jetpacks. Go Phillies. Let's go.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's the best thing that's happened to the Phillies this summer.
Yeah,
Scotty
really.
Jetpacks making the Philly 5, I think.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, hell of a Philly 5. Hell of an episode.
Hell of an episode.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, I've been Ryan Conway, joined by Sam Glavin, Seamus G.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube. Send us in those OTAs.
Send them in, baby.
Send them in so you can get that awesome hoodie from Fingerprints Filthy.
Awesome.
Shout out to our sponsors, Wide Plank Floor Supply and Fingerprints Filthy.
The homies.
Seamus G, close it down.